As Florence barrels towards the Carolina coast, officials at the Brunswick County Emergency Operations Center are keeping tabs on the conditions with all the local towns across the county. WWAY's Basil John has been there all day. Basil, what's it like there now?
Well, Jeff, it is quite possibly one of those things that you don't believe it until you see it. The operations that happen actually here at the Brunswick Emergency Services Center, it's been progressing so well because of this team morale that's been going on. And this man right here is definitely what I would consider a very true focal point of that team morale. George Granger, how are you doing today?
I am good, thank you. You know, it's just a group effort overall, and everybody knows what we all have to do, and we try to bring that commitment to the team together, and we all sort of kind of feed off of that to sort of kind of keep our spirits up.
And I mean, I've been noticing that constantly throughout the time that we've been here. I came and joined you at about 3 a.m. and you've been just keeping it going. I don't even know if you've had any coffee or anything. So, I mean, to start off, tell me a little bit about your position, what you're in charge of.
Okay. I'm the functional needs coordinator here. And what we do is we track all the individuals that have functional needs or access needs, and that includes medical issues, financial issues, and basically what we're doing is we're putting everybody on the radar that might need assistance. That way we can reach out to them in times like this and make sure that they get to where they need to be.
And I mean, the job isn't as simple as it may sound to some people. I mean, you've had to deal with calls from people out of state, people who have loved ones here. What kind of hoops do you have to jump through when it comes to that?
A lot. There's each person and each individual has their own scenario with what their challenges are, and we sort of kind of get introduced to that at that moment when they're calling in. And like you said, those calls can originate from out of state, different counties, wherever the case may be. But what we do after that is we just get involved and try to work that problem until we get resolution, considering that we're on a limited amount of time before the event actually takes place. So we're really aggressive on how we approach that to find resolution and move forward and get them taken care of.
And I feel like a lot of that kind of personality that you have, that also plays into when you're interacting with a lot of the other departments that are working out here, because there's several, if not dozens of organizations that are based here in the Emergency Services Center. Kind of tell me about the importance of that sense of communication. Once you do get those messages from the people and you know exactly what you need to do, what are the next steps and how integral is that?
Very much. So what we do there is we sort of kind of all just have a close contact there inside the EOC, and we just reach across the lines to each different department based on what's going on, and we just work it, and you know we just continue down that road until we actually get a final resolution on that, and bringing all of that together in there. Everybody that's involved in there is very committed to what they're doing. And we have a great group of people in there, and everybody is a pretty close family in there, and so it's really easy to let information cross back and forth like that. So we find it very effective, very, very effective.
And George, I mean, the thing to me that stands out, I mean, me and our other reporter, Matt Bennett, who's here with me as well, we got here last night, and we've been reporting since this morning, so we've only seen a glimpse of it, but you were telling me before a lot of this started more than a week ago for all these preparations. I mean, after a while you would think this can kind of get to a person's mentality and can really affect them. What kind of helps with you guys, considering the fact that you have been focusing on this for so long?
Well, you're right. We've been preparing for a while, even all the way back at the start of the weekend. So it does wear you down. It's a lot involved. There's a, excuse me, there's a tremendous amount of people involved. So, you know, what we try to do is to be mindful of where we're at and what's going on. We try to take mental breaks when we can to keep our spirits together. Sometimes the situations can become very intense to the point where it's just you're so consumed with what you're doing and you're so determined and focused on that the human touch, just to reassuring somebody that hey, we're all here together, we're here with you, We got good groups of people around that to help individuals work their way through that. And then we take our breaks, we come out and we try to laugh as much as we can to keep our spirits high. A lot of the times we don't have the luxury to just take the time and worry about what's going on. We try to prepare our own selves with our own families as early as we can, and get them settled, because it's business with us. I mean, we just really get right to it. But we try to just keep our morale up and our spirits up in the process of doing all of that.
And I mean, one thing that you were also mentioning to me, besides that focus on morale, is the satisfaction of being able to just come outside for at least a minute or two, because you're in that room for so long. Once the hurricane comes in, though, that kind of changes everything. So I guess to start off, can you tell me about your role? How does your role change from before the hurricane is there to during and then after?
Okay. What we do is we're always in the preparation mode. So before the storm comes, we're always reaching out to the community and trying to identify all of the residents in the county that actually qualify for the functional needs program. We collect their information in a database. We actually go out and make personal contacts with them and let them see who we are, and go ahead and start that communication so they know who they're dealing with and who they're talking to. And then once we get into the mode that we're in now, we sort of kind of switch over into making those activations. Then we reach out to
WWAY Storm Track 3 Weather Center.
Who they are, what their
Service
needs
has
are,
issued a
and where
hurricane
we
warning
need to place
effective
those
until
individuals so we can
11:14
provide them
p.m.
with the best
Saturday
service
for the
that we can.
counties of coastal
And then
Brunswick,
from there, we
coastal New
monitor that
Hanover,
and
coastal
address
Pender,
needs as they
inland
come up from
Brunswick,
there.
inland
So
New
it's a
Hanover, and
continuation
inland
throughout
Pender.
all the way.
And I
The
mean, it seems to be tough
WWAY
case
Storm
by
Track
case.
3
That was
Weather
one of the
Center,
words
and
I
find the
heard you saying
latest
a lot. It's case by
information
case.
on
We have to deal with it as
WWAYTV3.com,
what their demands are and what they require.
Facebook.com/.
The thing is that sometimes things are not as
TV3
easy.
and at
and
WWAY
for
on
you guys,
Twitter.
I mean, for you guys, what would you say is kind of one of the misconceptions that some people have when it comes to contacting you guys for assistance?
That's a good one. One of the misconceptions they have would be probably thinking that it might be maybe something that they're dealing with that we might not be able to assist them with, or just not really knowing what we can do for them. So we encourage any citizen in the county that
WWAY Storm Track 3 Weather
please
Center.
contact us here at the EOC.
Your service has
We're
issued a
at
hurricane warning effective until 11:14 p.m. Saturday
we
for the
definitely
counties
wanna
of
talk to
coastal
somebody who
Brunswick,
feels like they have
coastal
a
New
functional
Hanover,
need and they
coastal
might need
Pender,
assistance with
inland Brunswick,
anything across the
inland New
board.
Hanover, and
And then
inland
what
Pender.
we'll do is just see what
To the
exactly their
WWAY
scenario
Storm
is,
Track 3
and then we're
Weather
gonna do
Center
everything
and
we
find
can
the
to address
latest
that and work
information
forward.
on
And then once you guys try to work
WWAYTV3.com.
through it, I mean, who are you typically contacting in order to get those people the help? Are you
WWAY-TV3 and at
contacting, like, EMS, or are you
WWAY on
contacting,
Twitter.
one of the transportation services?
Well, it all depends, like you said, exactly what their need is. If it's a transportation need, we have a transportation sector that's in play, and we sort of kind of work that through them to get them where they need to be. If it's a issue that they're having with some sort of device or something like that may require a long-term power source or something like that, those are the things we want to know up front, so we know exactly where they need to be, where that can continue on throughout the service. So, you know, based on those issues and any other scenario that might pop up, because there is a ton that come through, but we address them all and try to provide everybody with what they need.
Well, George, I appreciate your time. I've been keeping you here for quite some time. I know you have a couple calls that you're going to have to answer once you get back in. A lot of people have been going up to him, so I was able to grab him before he had to go and talk to another 4 people. So we were able to grab him at just the right time. So, George, I really appreciate it. So make sure you continue to watch WWAY News throughout the entire day. We have more coverage when it comes to Hurricane Florence, and we'll be doing wall-to-wall coverage. We'll be giving you as many updates and as much information as possible. And I'll be speaking with more people like George throughout the day, people who are operating here at the Brunswick County Emergency Services Center. So live in Brunswick County, Basil John, WWAY News.
Thank you, Basil.